It's the week 1 Ravens. It seems like they always do great. It seems like Lamar Jackson's always fantastic week 1. I didn't think it was a perfect day, actually, by Lamar and by the offense. I thought that the Jets defense played pretty well, actually. I think they should be happy with how they played. But I still thought that, the Ravens defense was suffocating. Maybe I'll make a video about that once the All-22 comes out. But now that we're still just using broadcast footage, I figured let's talk about their offense. I always love a good Lamar Jackson Monday video because it seems like, he always, has these great offensive performances that make for interesting videos. This play, though, this is going to be Mark Andrews, and this is just going to be Mark Andrews at his best. It's man coverage, and this is the thing that Mark Andrews can do. This is why, I got some criticism on this channel for calling Mark Andrews the second best tight end in football behind Kelsey, but I stand by it. He's incredible, and watch this route. Lamar's going to take the snap. He's going to run a play action. Eventually, he throws it to Andrews' way at the posit now, just because, after he made the catch, just because it was blurry earlier. But look at how open Andrews was when this play was happening. I mean, this is as open as you'll ever see someone in the NFL be. So this is what Andrews can do, and this is why Andrews, it's kind of a joke a little bit of like, oh, your number 1 receiver is a tight end, but the number 1 receiver is a great tight end, so that makes you feel a little better. You also had this play, which this is something that the Ravens have not done a great job at, if we're being honest, at winning at, in the Lamar Jackson era, which is getting receivers open down the field. That's something that they have struggled with. In man coverage, getting these guys to win their one-on-one matchups. I mean, we all remember that Miami game last year, right? Where they were just playing cover 0 and the Ravens receivers were not winning in those situations. Well, this game isn't quite that, but it's still kind of the same idea. While there is a safety deep, there's only one safety deep, so he probably won't be able to get back to help out towards the sideline right here. So for Devin Duvernay in a one-on-one matchup, you want to be able to see him win here. And right when this play begins, Duvernay is appearing as though he could get somewhat open, right? It's not wide open, but this is the play that, if you can make a good throw, this can be a touchdown on a 3rd down and 5. So this is a 4-point play, right? Unless it's intercepted, you probably still have 3 points. You have Justin Tucker, so you have 3 points, right? You can just assume that he will make it, even though he is human, only barely, right? So this is the 4-point play, and these are the kind of plays that the Ravens have sometimes not been able to get, and that's kind of, I think, what sometimes stopped them from just being a really good team and not being the championship caliber team outside of the 1 year where they won 14 games. However, Lamar hits this one, Duvernay makes the grab, and this is what can get you excited. You could say it's the Jets, who cares, which is a relatively fair comment. I wouldn't fight back on that one too much. It is just the Jets. You don't have to care that much if you don't want to. But the reality is, these are the plays you're hoping to see out of. It's not really a Lamar Jackson thing. Lamar gets all the blame because he's the quarterback, but it's, to me, been more of a Ravens receivers thing in the Lamar Jackson era, more so than blaming Lamar himself. That being said, going over to this play, there was a couple of mistakes by Lamar in this one. Lamar did not have a perfect day by any means, and even in those kind of situations where this is a different concept. So they're playing cover 2 zone. It's not man coverage, but still there is a window where you can try to make this throw. You just have to be careful and make sure you throw a bullet pass in there, because if the safety gets over, could be an interception or at least a deflection. So you don't have quite the freedom you do when there's only one safety deep, because there's more safety help here. Look at how when this play begins, to me, this is open. Lamar makes this throw, and you have a window to make this throw. You would like to make this throw, but Lamar underthrew it, which I'm assuming he underthrew it because, again, you do have to kind of thread that needle. Well, you have to get it underneath the safety and past the cornerback. So those plays are more difficult than if it was one safety deep, but he missed the throw. There's no getting around it. And that's kind of the thing about Lamar Jackson that's been the one criticism that I would agree with is, listen, he's a very smart player. He's obviously one of the best runners we've ever seen. Regardless of position, he's incredible at that. I mean, the guy could return punts if he wants to. He's that athletic. He also has a great deep ball. He checks all the boxes except for the accuracy has sometimes been an issue. I think it's fair to say even me as a big Lamar fan will admit that. Also like this one, which who cares, but it's an underneath throw that he missed. So it happens. It is a thing. We can't pretend like it doesn't happen. And when I'm making the evaluation of Lamar, I am going to bring it up. But as a whole, I thought it was a very good day from Lamar Jackson. This plays another, this was probably the highlight where it's going to be a quarters coverage play. You're going to have a receiver running a deep route. It's going to be Rashad Bateman, actually, the first-round pick of last year, who Didn't really live up to the hype his rookie year, but hey, this is a great way to live up to the hype. Unfortunately, with no all-22 footage, we don't know exactly what happened. But what we do know is Lamar is going to take the snap. He's going to eventually make this throw down the field, and Bateman is going to get wide open. Sometimes this happens in quarters coverage where both safeties assume the other guy has the receiver, and since neither do, Bateman gets past the defense. That does happen sometimes, and I'm not sure if that's what happened here, but wouldn't be surprised. That'd be my theory as to what happened. But what we do know is Bateman is wide open down the field, and Lamar Jackson has a tendency to hit these guys. As you see, Lamar is able to make this throw, so you get the touchdown. These are the things that can give you some hope if you're a Ravens fan. Not that you need hope. I mean, the Ravens tend to be pretty good, but can give you more hope heading into the beginning of this season. The fact that we saw some of these plays work out that sometimes the Ravens haven't been the best at, and we know what they can do well. So even if they weren't incredible at that stuff in this game, the running game is going to be fantastic when they need it to be. So there's that. So how do we feel about Lamar Jackson after this game? I think we feel very good. Again, if you know me, I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan, and I think that there was just a lot that he did very well in this one, and I think there's a lot the Ravens did very well in this one. I think that a lot of people are going to write it off and say, okay, you beat the Jets, whatever. Again, who knows with preseason predictions heading into the regular season, it's very hard to predict, anything in the NFL. But my prediction for the Jets was that they would be decent this year. Not great, not a playoff team, but better than people realize. So if I'm correct about that, which I might not be, this would be very good news for the Ravens. And if you're a Ravens fan, you might be saying, all right, let's go. We just beat a competent football team and made them look incompetent. Now, again, who knows? Maybe the Jets just suck. They also are, with backup quarterback Joe Flacco in, so a lot of stuff there. But what we learned is that the Ravens at least can do this against bad teams. But the reality is the Ravens have, they can at least do this against the Jets, I guess is what we've learned. Because again, I just said the Jets might not be bad and then called them bad. But anyways, I guess what we learned is that they can do it against a team like the Jets. And the one maybe question mark is the Ravens have never had issues beating up on bad teams. That's never been an issue with them. Sometimes they've had question marks on can they beat up the great teams. And if you are someone who still has that question, we don't know the answer to it just yet. But if you're someone who doesn't, then, you probably feel pretty good about the Ravens. I don't know. I feel pretty good about the Ravens. I think it's a good win, but it also isn't the end-all be-all. You want to see if they can string some more of these together, but the Ravens probably going to be very good this year, and this just confirms it. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What were your thoughts on this Ravens win? Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.